Today, we've got one of our popular guests back on the show that I like to call the queen of Instagram. Celine has built up her apparel company to over 7 figures off of Amazon and also runs an agency that helps e-commerce entrepreneurs crush it in social media. And she's back with more strategies that sellers of all levels can use. How cool is that? Pretty cool, I think. If you guys would like to network with other Walmart sellers, make sure to join our brand new Facebook group called Helium 10 Winning with Walmart. You can actually just search for that on Facebook, or you can actually go to h10.me/Walmart group, and you can go directly to that page. So make sure to join. You can tag me and Carrie with questions and ask questions of other Walmart sellers, or even share your own experiences in that Facebook group. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Serious Sellers Podcast by Helium 10. I am your host, Bradley Sutton, and this is the show that's a completely BS-free, unscripted, and unrehearsed organic conversation about serious strategies for serious sellers of any level in the e-commerce world. And we've got somebody who's from a different part of the world and is now actually traveling the world while she works. Selene, how's it going? Where in the world are you right now?
I'm in Costa Rica, going to be working here for the next 4 weeks, work travel.
That is so cool. That's one of the things that, most people, quote unquote, working for the man, can't really do. But when you run your own business or you're an entrepreneur, it affords you, some luxuries and stuff to live in. I've been living vicariously through you and your boyfriend's Instagram with these infinity pools and jungle rain things and all this all your fancy foods you're eating, all this cool stuff.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Costa Rica is beautiful. We were in Monteverde for 5 days, and if you go to Costa Rica, you have to go there because it's just different than all your other beach surf towns. It's in the middle of the jungle, you're above the clouds, and it's just peaceful.
Awesome. Now, guys, we're not going to go too much into Celine's backstory. She's actually been on the podcast a couple times before. So if this is if you're a new listener, maybe, she's new to you, go ahead and pause this episode. Go back. She's been in episode 71. You guys can look up, and also 201, 71 and 201. So it's actually been a while since you've been on, because now we're like at, I don't know, 380 something or something like that. So
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a while. Now, before we get into what you've been up to and some of your latest tips and strategies, because the social media world is always staying fresh and changing. I want to talk about like a little side project that you've been helping us out on. And so we want, everybody, a lot of people know we have the Project X thing that we did on YouTube, where we made coffin shelves and some other spooky products on there. And so we're like, you know what? We've been telling, people have people like Selene on. We'll tell people like, hey, if you have an Amazon brand, you should, start thinking about utilizing Instagram to grow your social media presence and get some followers and things. So you've actually been advising our team on some of that. And so I actually don't even have our Instagram handy. It's like Manny's Mysterious Oddities. Let me just see what it's called here. Hold on, Manny's. I think it's Manny's
It's
Mysterious Oddities.
Yeah.
Just Mysterious Oddities. Okay, so it's mysterious _ oddities.
Yeah.
And I can actually share my screen, I think. Here, let me see if I can do that. Yeah, for the people watching this on YouTube. So Selene has helped us out on we've been working with influencers, and we've been throwing up pictures. We've been doing memes. It looks like some Drake memes here, growing our followers. So we took it pretty much from 0 to a few hundred followers already, 371 followers. And so anyways, let's talk about, I actually wasn't involved much with this project, but do you remember some of the things that you told Shivali and then Leilama originally, who was working on this, on how they should start this out? And basically what you're going to say now is, all of you other Amazon sellers out there, this advice would probably apply to you guys too.
Yeah, so a few things that are important before starting influencer marketing is to have, I think, an Instagram presence of your own brand. A lot of the times on our agency side, when a new brand comes to us and they want to work with influencers, some of the more difficult things that we have to work on first is growing their own social media presence. Because the truth is, when you're reaching out to influencers, if your Instagram has very little posting, clearly you're just starting out and you have no followers. A lot of influencers don't really want to work with you, or they want to get paid at least. So for all our clients and for my own brand too, and also for Mysterious Oddities, I said, okay, like let's start building your own Instagram page. Maybe Instagram's not your platform. Maybe it's TikTok. Maybe it's Facebook. Maybe it's YouTube, right? So wherever your customers are, start building your own brand's platform there. You can post sporadically, maybe like twice a week if you don't have that much time, but at least keep something going so the influencers that you're reaching out to or the people that are looking up your page know that you are active in the social media world and they know that you are like paying attention to it and
Mhm.
putting effort in it. So that's one of the first things that I recommended was to actually post more consistently. And of course, if you have user generated content, um, sometimes it is hard to get it from influencers when you're just starting out. But even if you just have your product at home, which most of the founders do, just ask a friend or ask your family or friends and mom, dad, whatever, to take some like organic user generated content through your iPhone, your camera that you have, which really helps build social media presence. And when a customer or even an influencer goes on your profile, it looks like you're a real brand, you're selling products, and you have real customers. So those were like the first two things. And the next thing is going more into the influencer marketing. So reaching out to influencers that are similar to your demographic or you think that their followers would be interested in your product. So in this case, I think some of the influencers that you guys reached out to are some of the girls that, kind of like probably do like spookier makeups and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I also see a collab post here. Um, and also a lot of girls or guys into cosplay, dressing up, Halloween. Like there's lots of influencers that are really into that. So in this, case study, like reaching out to influencers like that really helps. Also, Halloween is coming up. We're recording mid-October, so
Mhm.
lots of like opportunity to even collaborate with influencers that are like moms, maybe, right?
Before we finish that, you mentioned something there I wanted to touch on because it's something I didn't even know existed like before a few days ago. But you mentioned collab post, and then I'm looking here and I see which one
Yeah.
you're talking about, where it's like I'm not even sure who this was from, but it's like the source of this image in our story feed. I'm gonna share this screen again just so people who can see what I'm talking about. It says mysterious oddities and this other person. Is this what's called a collab?
Yes.
How
Yeah.
do you even do this? Like, I don't even know how
It's
Shivali did this.
so it's actually super easy. When you post or when she posts on her Instagram, you
Mhm.
can tag people, right? And there's another button now that says invite collaborator. So if you click invite
Okay.
collaborator, let's say you and I are doing a collab post together. Maybe it's a group photo of you and I. Basically on Instagram, it shows that you and I posted the photo together. So the author of the post is both of us, and it'll show the post to your followers and my followers. So it's a collaboration post. And we've been doing more of that with influencers because it works really well in terms of reach. So let's say we are doing a collection drop or a sale or something, and the photo we use is the influencer. We could invite her. That way, her followers also see that, oh, Vitae Apparel is having a sale.
Yeah.
Vice versa. If they are posting and they tag us as a collaborator, one, it'll show up on our feed. So if customers are shopping, they'll be like, oh, there's, real people wearing the product. And the other one is they can also, again, kind of just share our page there. And if people are interested in buying our product, they can just click our profile and it's like way easier to access our Instagram page versus clicking on the tag person on Instagram. And it's just helps with wider reach in general on Instagram. So that post right there did really well. It was a giveaway also.
Okay, now that collaboration thing is pretty cool. We get a few likes per, but this particular video that's coming up on our feed, we got like 10x the normal number of likes and engagement on it because it was coming also from the influencers page. And also what you had said was right. Like we didn't want to do this influencer thing right when we started. We want to have a few hundred followers at first, and so that seems like definitely seems like a cool way to go. Another thing that Shivali mentioned here is like, she said had said as far as our own posts, like a couple of the meme ones actually did kind of like the best
Yeah.
from our own native posts. Like, is that normal? Is like, do you usually see like meme posts when executed well? Like those usually work better than just random ones.
I wouldn't say meme posts in particular. I think it really depends on what your brand is, but for us, it's relatable, humorous content.
Okay.
Especially like videos. Like for my brand, it does really well. For some clients, memes do really well. For some other clients, like educational posts do really well. So it really depends on the product you sell and what your brand messaging is. The reason why those posts do well is because it's relatable and it's shareable content. So people send it to their friends or they comment or they share it on their story, and that kind of boosts engagement on Instagram.
Looking at my notes here to see what else Shivali had said that you guys were, you guys had worked on here. Let's see, unboxing footage. She said did well. Like I'm assuming that she did some with an influencer or something. But
Yeah.
if you're a person who sells physical products and that's your goal for doing this Instagram, then I guess getting influencers to do unboxing seems to have good engagement.
Yeah. So what we usually do with influencers is have a storyline kind of planned out. We reach out to an influencer, send them the products and whatnot. And what we're asking for them to post is it needs to be a little bit more organic nowadays. I think the first thing is once you receive the package, ask the influencer, let's say I'm an influencer. I receive the package. The first thing I should be doing is posting kind of like a first impression unboxing story onto my Instagram or TikTok or wherever. That way you're kind of like doing it in real time. So I received this package. Hey guys, I want to share it with you. This is what I received. Open it. First impression. Oh wow, like this looks really sturdy. This looks really stylish on my shelf and whatnot. And so kind of talk about first impressions and then leave it at that. The next step that we usually do is for us, we sell clothing. So we ask influencers to actually, try on the products and do a
Mhm.
little try on haul, like, hey, actually trying on the products today, going to wear to the gym to later to test it out. This is how the fabric feels. This is what size I'm wearing, and actually putting it in use to show the customers how it is. So that's kind of like the second step of the story. And the third step usually we do is an Instagram in feed post, whether it's a giveaway or just a feed post, usually a picture or Instagram reel of them wearing it. That way, when the audience sees the third Instagram post or reel, they have already been kind of warmed up to the brand because they saw the unboxing story and they saw the try on haul. So they're like, oh, it's this brand. And nowadays, customer needs 7 to 13 touch points in order to convert and buy something.
Hmm.
So I think it's really important to kind of touch base and warm the audience up until they do want to purchase. And something else that I mentioned actually is to run giveaways with influencers.
That was
Um,
my next question. Yeah, because it seems to be
yeah,
working really well. So what? Again, I wasn't involved in this at all. So like, as you guys are hearing this, I'm hearing it for the first time here. But Shivali did have her notes that she was doing a giveaway. So like, what was your advice to her on how to set this up and how to execute it? And then what are we trying to achieve when we do a giveaway with someone?
yeah. So there's two types of there's three types of giveaways. One type is the one that we did in the collaboration post. If you are watching on YouTube, you'll see it. Basically, the influencer posts a giveaway on their page, and in this case, it's a collaboration post, so it'll also show up on your own Instagram page. But the rules are to follow both accounts and tag a friend, win the product. So this way, we are gaining new followers from the influencers' followers, and the people that want to win this product are most likely people that are actually interested in your product. So sometimes what could be interesting is if you have the time, you can kind of check the comments and DM the people that participated in the giveaway some random gift cards. Maybe it's 10% off, $5 off, or whatever, and be like, hey, like, sorry, this is after you announce the giveaway. Be like, hey, sorry you didn't win, but here's a $5, $10 gift card. Like, thanks for participating. Who knows? Maybe you would convert a new customer that wouldn't have bought otherwise. So this is something that we used to do as well. So that's one type of giveaway, running it with influencers. The second type is running it with another brand. So someone that is not your direct competitor, but a complement to your product. So for us, for fitness apparel, we could collaborate with shoe companies, gym bags, like water bottle, like whatever. Be creative. Think outside of the box a little bit. Snack companies. So collaborating with another brand, you share a similar demographic, but they might not shop at your place yet, vice versa. And so this usually does really well because it benefits the other brand as well. And the winners get to win different prizes from different companies. So these type of giveaways usually do really well, but it requires reaching out to other brands, doing the logistics, figuring out how the visuals will look because you need to make sure all the prizes is in one photo. There's a few ways going about it. Sometimes we would ask the brands to ship like one product to us and then we shoot the photo, or you can do Photoshop and just kind of put it in a
Mhm.
visual. So that's the second type of giveaway. The third one is doing it on your own page. So this one, if you are starting out and you run a giveaway on your own page and say like, "Hey, follow us and win whatever, 10 sunscreens." And if you only have 10 followers, really only 10 people will be participating in your
Mhm.
giveaway. Maybe if those 10 people tag their friends, maybe 20, but what we have seen worked really well recently is actually boosting the giveaway posts via like a little bit of paid ads. It's like 5-10 bucks a day for the duration of the giveaway, which is let's say 5 days. It's just $50, but the reach that the giveaway post does actually grows the account really well. Recently, we did one for one of our clients, and it doubled the account in
Wow.
like 3 days. So that does really well because Facebook doesn't like you growing your account without really paying for it. So giveaways that are like not really boosted or have outside help, which is another brand or another influencer, doesn't do as well as it does like 5 years ago. So putting a little bit of ad spend behind, even just $5 a day, does make a huge difference. Um, yeah, those are kind of like the three types of giveaways that
Awesome.
I talked about, and it works really well for, I think, no matter where you are at with social media.
All right, excellent, excellent. We'll come back to maybe some social media strategy, but let's switch gears and talk about your own, other businesses. And by the way, guys, uh, she does this for a living, So like, I'll give you, we'll make sure to give you her contact info at the end of this episode. So if you guys want help with your Instagram, uh, uh, or your e-commerce business and getting on social media, she'll be able to help you guys out. But your main, your day job, has been your Vitae Apparel. Like, I remember the first time you were on the show, I was actually looking at some notes here that my producer, recorded for me. But you had said that I think it was like 2019, you were at $400,000, and then you were like, "Man, my goal, for the next couple of years, sometime to hit seven figures." And then the next time I had you on the show, you're like, "We hit 1.5 million in sales." Now,
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly when we had this episode, the second one, but it was in around oh no, it was December 2020. So that was like kind of like right in the middle of the pandemic,
Yeah.
or 2021. So like, how was 2021? Almost like an entire year, and 2022, that was, pandemic, hit for a business like yours. Did things go up? Did things go down? What happened?
Yeah, so, well, I think when we filmed that podcast, it was in the middle of the lockdown and, like, peak COVID,
Mhm.
and it was 2020, so everything went online during 2020, and it did really well for our business, especially because we have a very engaged community and we know how to captivate our audience in an engaged online platform, social media. And people responded really well. We hosted a lot of IG lives, like online events and whatnot, and to just to keep our customers coming back and engaged. And people here in Canada, we had CERB, which was the government was basically giving out 2K a month to, whoever that needs help during COVID. And so people in our age group, which was 18 to 24, just spent it all because they probably haven't even earned $2,000 a month ever in their life because they're in school, right? But they qualified for it. So they just basically spent it. And I will say that was a huge factor on, making us grow so fast in 2020. And in 2021, we still grew 50% over 2020. So I think we did like 2.4, 2.6 in rev point 2.6 mil in revenue. So 2021 did really well. It was harder. I could feel it. I scaled the team quite a bit in 2021, and I think I scaled it too fast because I was expecting, the 2020 ecom boom to carry over in 2021. But I think
Mhm.
people are starting to realize that, well,
I think a
one,
lot of people
things
kind
are
of thought that that was the case. You were
exactly.
definitely not weren't alone in that.
Yeah, I definitely scaled it very aggressively, and I think that a lot of customers are kind of slowing down spending in 2021. I see it, like especially Q4 comparing to 2020. It did grow a little bit, but, like, not as significant. So, yeah, that was an indication for me, and I think a lot of people right now are actually, holding back on their spending for the few e-com owners that I talked to, um, at least for the D2C side. I'm not sure how Amazon side is doing. I think if you're selling essential products, you're probably still doing amazing. But I will say this year it is harder and things are moving into retail again because people
Mhm.
are craving that in-person connection and they want to go in a store and they want to go shop, whether just like staying on their computer and phone and shopping online.
Now, the very first time you were on the show, your brand was kind of strictly like swimwear, bikinis, things like that. And then, towards the second time you're on the show, you were starting you were doing this shift to kind of like fitness apparel and things.
Yeah.
Refresh my memory, like what prompted that shift? And then also like now, end of 2022, what's the breakdown of like your sales? What percent is now the newer stuff like the fitness apparel as opposed to what you originally started out with?
Yeah. So we pivoted to fitness apparel because we're in Vancouver and Vancouver based. So summer is really short. When I launched the brand, we were doing really well in the summer. We were doing okay during winter months because people will go on vacation. Spring, it's okay, but then there are months that are super slow. And in order to keep up with like sales, we would have to expand into the US and Australia. And at the time, I just like didn't see that I had the manpower to and that I wanted to. I wanted to focus on the Canadian market. So I asked our customers in our community, like, hey, what else do you want to see from us? And they said they want to see fitness apparel, yoga pants. So a lot of people said that. And I was like, wait a second, that makes a lot of sense. I used to swim competitively. I trained running, weightlifting, all that too. So I lived in sports bra and leggings. So I was like, okay, like let's test it out. The first collection we launched, it sold out immediately and it was on pre-order for like 4 weeks. So I knew there was a demand and
Mhm.
we started to launch more and more. The thing about fitness apparel is it's more expensive. So we couldn't quite have a lot of inventory in stock. So we would sell out
Yeah.
2 months later, restock, and it would be this huge thing, and we would make, like, 6 figures in a day just
It's
because
like
of the hype.
Yeezys, like everybody's hype
Yeah,
when
it's
it
like a
comes out and
drop.
it sells out. Yeah, yeah, like a
Yeah,
drop. Yeah, yeah.
exactly. Yeah. So
I
that
like
did
that.
really well for us, especially during 2020. All supply chain, first of all, was super delayed, and everyone was going crazy online shopping, so when we did drop something, it would just do, like, 6 figures day, like, no problem, and things would sell out. So we pivoted a little bit to fitness apparel. We launched our first collection in 2019 November, so it was,
Mhm.
like, pre-pandemic, and then, 3, 4 months later, the pandemic happened, and I'm so lucky that I did start fitness apparel
Yeah.
before that because no one was traveling, no one was
Yep,
buying
yep.
swimwear in 2020, and having fitness apparel being, like, our main thing really saved us, and because of the demand, we just kinda pushed it more and more. So now we're basically like 99% fitness apparel, and in the
Wow.
summer, we will drop a collection for swimwear, but
Mhm.
that's pretty much the only collection we'll drop for swim.
Now, I also noticed you kind of like launch your own like physical product or like it was like a card game. So
Oh, yeah.
what prompted that? That's not the typical thing that like okay, apparel is apparel, swimwear going to fitness apparel. That's kind of like, like a natural kind of progression there, but to go to like start your own card game, like how where was the inspiration for that?
Yeah, so for the past, I wanna say 5, 6 months now, I have been feeling the burnout. I grinded
Mhm.
really hard. Business has been around for almost 6 years now, and I didn't really take a break ever. And I scaled really fast in 2021, so I feel like I scaled it so fast, so much was going on. I was going through all the challenges and learning that you could think of, growing the team, um, having more higher expenses and all of that, and it was just a lot, and I felt the burnout, like, starting March, April, and I didn't really have motivation to do anything anymore. I would wake up and be like, "Oh, like, I don't wanna do this," and so, yeah, it was really rough. I feel like I'm getting out of it now, but still not where I was, and it was just a mental burnout. So
Mhm.
I thought to myself, I was like, okay, like, why am I feeling this way? And what I've learned is like, I scaled the team really fast last year and I learned so much. like wouldn't take it back for anything. But I do realize that I miss having that like smaller team that's like hardworking and also everyone is kind of on the same page. Less communication issues, and that we were also dropping collections just to earn revenue in 2021 because I wanted to scale to 8 figures in 3 years. And I was like, okay, the only way that we're going to get there is if we drop more collections like every month. So we were kind of just pumping out collection drops like, on repeat. And I kind of miss doing those collections that's really special to us. The messaging, like the fabric, the color, the cut, the everything, it's very, very special and dear to our heart and our customers. So this year I kind of went through a few months of thinking and just I thought to myself, okay, like I miss doing that. And I want to make sure the collections that we're dropping are actually something people want and that we put 110% of our energy in and it's like a product that people would love, not just because I need to scale the company.
Yeah.
So kind of went through that, and it took a lot to realize, and also energy. So if anyone's out there listening, I feel like if you're going through this, like everyone at any stage in their business, even if you're starting out, even if you're like 15 years in, like you're gonna feel that at some point. And
Yep.
I think
Yep.
it's just taking a break, taking that time to yourself to reflect on why am I doing this? Am I passionate about it? What am I trying to solve here? What am I doing? And to get me out of that, I went through like a 30-day challenge where every day I did something out of my comfort zone, something that I would do for myself every day. So I would like wake up, like set the intention of doing something. So maybe today it's going for a walk, and
Mhm.
tomorrow it's like going ziplining or something. So a lot of the stuff was more adventurous because I'm more of an adrenaline junkie. So I went through a few things like I went bungee jumping. I think I flew a plane in 30 days. I did a bunch of stuff.
You
And then
flew a
while I
plane?
was, yeah, I did. I flew a plane. It
Good
was,
grief.
it was, what is it called? A Cessna. And there
Okay.
was like two um, cockpits. So you could co pilot. And so I flew for like 3 hours actually. I took off
Wow.
the plane too. He let me took
Wow.
off the plane, and I flew around downtown for like 2.5, 3 hours, and then he landed the plane. So he
Uh-huh.
did that part, but it was really cool. And
Nice.
yeah, we
So how
also
does this
went.
all tie into the game?
So, and I was like, how can I inspire people to also do this? And if they're feeling
There we go.
unmotivated, how
Yep.
can they get out of
I
it?
like it.
So I also invited some of our customers actually to go jet skiing with us, and to kind of really tie into that messaging of our brand. And by the end of the 30 days, I launched the card game, and I had all the footage of all my like adventures. And the messaging was that, if you're feeling burnt out and unmotivated, just step out of your comfort zone and do something for yourself every day. And you could pick a random card, and the card will tell you what to do.
I love it. I'm like
Yeah.
one of those people who probably needs to do that a little bit more because workaholic. I love work so much, but I need to just step away. So I might have to go get that card game. Anyways, let's go back to talking about social media strategies. Last time you dropped some cool knowledge bombs on us. Like you talked about this app called Like to Know It, and it helped drive $40,000 of sales in like one day or some crazy thing like that. But what has been working for you, either Instagram or TikTok or anything lately that's new that maybe we haven't talked about on the show before?
Yeah. I think TikTok is definitely working really well for a lot of Amazon sellers, especially if you have a lower valued item, like a lower MSRP item. For us, our
Mhm.
leggings are still a little bit on the higher end for TikTok, I think. It makes people think like twice before they buy. But if you have like a $20, home decor or something on Amazon, that you sell, and you have that on TikTok, and those do really well. And or like cheaper leggings, for example. But a lot of brands are using influencer marketing on TikTok. So they're looking for influencers, whether they are the type of influencers that are like Amazon finds and they, show a bunch of stuff that they found on Amazon. Most of these influencers are actually already Amazon affiliates. So they have their affiliate
Mhm.
code. It's like really easy to set up, pay them commission and all that. They know what they're doing. So those influencers do really well for conversion and just gifting, to be honest. On TikTok, there's a lot of people on TikTok that are not yet like famous. but they have a very good reach, a very good presence, and like an okay amount of followers. It's not going to be like 1 million or 500K, but they have like 10, 20K, but they convert really well. And what I've seen work the best is, for example, if you're selling a product, kind of incorporating that into I don't know, let's say you're selling protein powder or something,
Mhm.
incorporating that into a routine of some sort and post that on TikTok and have it a little bit more organic. And what I find is people in the comments are like, "Oh my god, like where's that from?" and whatnot. Obviously, the videos should still be kind of highlighting your product, but in a more organic and storytelling way. So I think that does really well for TikTok. And also, um, there's this new app called Be Real. We haven't started it yet, but I know a lot of people are using it more and more. I see a lot of influencers on there. I am like testing it out. I'm not sure what I could do with the brand on it yet, but I know how it's different from other platform is that it gives you a notification every day and you have to take a photo of your front camera and your back camera. So it's like 360. So like
Okay.
when it notifies you, you take a picture right then and there. So it's real. That's why it's called like Be Real. So it's not like your filtered like life highlight on TikTok or Instagram and whatnot. It's just real. So a lot of people are getting on it more and more. I don't know what I'll do it if I do it for a brand, but if you like want to test it out for a personal brand, that might be good. Or as an entrepreneur, you can post it and be like, today I'm working on whatever, sourcing products and just like front back photo. That app I'm testing out. If you're on Shopify, there's a new app called Shopify Collabs, previously called Dovetail. It's completely free. It helps you find influencers, gives you like some of their analytics, and it can also, it's like very streamlined. It will make orders for you automatically, and it generates the influencer commission code and everything. So it's just less manual work, and you can also source influencers on there, so you don't have to manually look for them on Instagram, TikTok, and whatnot. It's just like more
Mhm.
efficient. And on Instagram, I will say nowadays IG Reel does better. Um, a little while ago, Instagram was testing a new layout on their homepage, which kind of looks like TikTok. And a lot of people hated it because they were like, we don't need another TikTok. We want Instagram. Like, we want
Yeah.
photos. So they're not
Yeah.
launching that from what
Is
I
that
know.
was the one where, like, a Kardashian, like, complained about it, and then, like, the next day they took it off or something I read something like that, where they were trying, but then, yeah, I stopped seeing that, but yeah, like, the thing that I love about, um, like or just, when I share, like, sometimes my reel I'll make a reel, and then I'll share it to, like, my story, but now back in the day, you had to have, like, 10,000 followers to be able to put links, like, in your
Into the
story.
story. Yeah.
But
Now
now
you
I can,
can
like,
just do it.
share my reel and, I don't have 10,000 followers, and I can put the link to, like, the YouTube video or something there, has that changed how you guys, work with influencers at all? Because now you can go for more micro influencers or, that hasn't, affected you guys that much?
For us, because my brand has, like, quite a bit of social media following, so we don't have, like, that much trouble looking for influencers that have higher
Mhm.
following that would do it for free and just for commission.
Okay.
Um, I will say influencer marketing is a little bit harder now because there are more and more influencers on Instagram that are trying to make it. So they're
Yeah.
trying to charge for every single little post or little thing that they do. So if you're starting out, I would go on TikTok and find influencers that have not yet made it or aren't even in the interest of being an influencer. They're just being themselves, genuine, making content on TikTok.
Yeah.
Finding those people and, maybe catching them before they blow up is a really good way, and we had a few of those, that got picked up by, like, Netflix shows and whatnot, like, they converted really well because they all of a sudden just kinda, like, blew up, but then, like, right before they blew up, they posted about us. So, I think finding influencers on TikTok for free or very low cost, but with, like, good reach, good engagement on TikTok is the way to go. Yeah.
Alright, so, like, every time you're on the show, I always have my TST 30-second tip. So what is your 30-second tip? Some kind of strategy, whether it's about social media, about Shopify, it could be about anything you want it to be. What is something hard hitting and very actionable that our listeners can do?
30-second tip is be organic and be real and show up on your brand's social media page if you're running it. I think nowadays people shop because they want to hear a story and they want to connect with someone and to be in a community and belong to something. So it's very important for you to build a community for your brand through your customers and also show up. Whether it's you showing up or have someone in your team showing up or hire someone to show up, tying a face to your brand is really important nowadays.
Awesome, awesome. I like it. I actually had somebody a little bit on the show go, Cara from the UK, and she was talking about how she's actually the face of her own brand, and she thinks that's helped her out a lot. So I was kind of upset at you for not coming to Sell and Scale Summit. Celine, keeping it real here. I was looking forward to seeing you again for the first time in a couple years, but hopefully we'll link up at one of these future events or the next Sell and
Yeah.
Scale that we do. But enjoy your travels there in Costa Rica, and have safe journey back home. And how can people reach out to you if they want to maybe get help with their social media or check out what you're doing? What are your socials out there?
Yeah, my Instagram is miss.dior. It's MISSSS.DIORR. And you can find me on LinkedIn, Celine Dior, and also you can email me at dior@vitaeapparel.com.
Awesome. Celine, thank you so much, and we'll be seeing you soon.